Hey, Facets, it's me, Billy. Bill Van Ryn, actually, from Fanzine Drive-In Asylum, and I am jealous of each and every one of you sitting in this auditorium tonight because you get to watch one of my favorite movies on the big screen, Black Christmas. And not only that, you get to watch it with Lynne Griffin, cover star of Drive-In Asylum number 13. And having now met her, I'm sure you will agree with me that Lynn is a thoroughly delightful person who happened to be in a couple of weird movies, two of which you're going to watch tonight. Let's get into this Black Christmas ad gallery. Now, this is a Canadian film, and it debuted in Windsor, Ontario, the day after Halloween, November 1974. And after this brief sneak preview in Los Angeles in February of 75, it opened officially in the States as Silent Night, Evil Night. Now, why the title change? They probably didn't want it to sound like a blaxploitation film, which were very popular at the time. Whatever the reason, it was Black Christmas once again by the fall of that year when it returned to LA for its official run with all of these really interesting newspaper ads. Most intriguing of all is this phone number that they listed in the ad where you could get the holiday spirit. I hope what you really got was Billy. November 1975, here it is in London, and I'm sure by the time the British censors got done with this, it had been smothered with a plastic dry cleaning bag. But there was one more identity crisis in store for this movie. When it went to pay cable, it became Stranger in the House, which is the creepiest title, in my opinion. And that's the title it took with it to network TV. NBC purchased the rights, and they had originally slated to broadcast it in early January 1978. Unfortunately, there was a very real series of gruesome attacks at Florida State University. Since life was imitating art a little too closely, NBC ultimately decided to hold Stranger in the House back by a couple of months, and the perpetrator of those crimes was eventually apprehended. It was none other than Ted Bundy. Thanks for coming out tonight, and prepare to be creeped out by Black Christmas. Well, now we've reached the really interesting part of the evening, curtains. Black Christmas has a respectability about it these days, but curtains is something that lunges at you from the shadows. A lot of people don't talk about this movie, and that's kind of a shame because I think it's very special. It's one of those films that is just so nutty, it draws you in, and you keep watching it and thinking, what strange things is this movie going to show me next? What situation am I going to be dropped down into that I have no clue what's happening? And it's this disjointed quality that makes it so unique. The film's original director, Richard Shupka, left, and then the rest of the movie was completed by the producer, Peter Simpson. There were numerous reshoots, rewrites, so ultimately you really don't know what was intended. The tagline is the ultimate nightmare, and it really does have a bad dream quality to it. There are entire characters in this movie that seem to disappear without a trace for no reason. You could be forgiven for not even knowing that Michael Wincott was in Curtains even after you've seen it. And there are a couple of scary scenes in this movie. The scene that everybody remembers is the one that takes place on the frozen pond with poor Leslie Donaldson. There's a great stalking scene featuring Sandy Curry from Terror Train. And there's a really disturbing murder in the very beginning of the film. It's not too explicit, but it is brutal, and it seems to come out of nowhere. But my favorite thing about Curtains is that it's about acting, the debauched world of filmmaking. The role everyone's after in this movie is Audra. Forget Lady Macbeth, forget Antigone. And I hesitate to say too much about Lynne Griffin's role in this film because I don't want to give away any spoilers, but I love how much she gets to do in this film. There's a great scene that she plays with John Vernon on the staircase in the house. She also gets to be the bad girl in this movie. She gets to do all sorts of bad things, including smoke pot. Lynn, we should smoke sometime and talk all night about Audra. I'm Bill Van Ryn from Drive-In Asylum. Many thanks to Facets, John McDevitt, to Lynne Griffin, and especially to you for coming and hanging out with us this evening. We hope you enjoy Curtains.